Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is May 2, 2022. The sun is in Taurus, and we have a waxing crescent moon in Taurus making ingress to Gemini early this morning. So we create strength and security in our lives by drawing in what we need from reliable sources, and we have an inner drive to cogitate, analyze, envision, plan, but most of all, to communicate. The waxing crescent moon in Gemini is a true blessing, giving us mental sharpness for solving problems and choosing the path forward during the phase of the moon when we are setting our goals and making our plans. So it's really ideal. Yesterday was the beginning of solar Beltane, the midpoint celebration of spring. We're halfway from spring equinox to summer solstice. So some would say this is really the beginning of summer. In tradition, we light bonfires to herald the sun's increasing influence over the coming months. So in tradition, herders would bless their cattle at this time, and homemakers would clean out their hearths and set a new home fire from the celebratory public bonfire. Cattle are a material resource, and that is the kind of resource that is important under the sign of Taurus. In this modern era, if you have no cattle, it would not be a bad idea to ritually celebrate the physical resources you do have, namely your body and your home and your financial assets. However small or large these resources may be, this is the time when we celebrate and pray for their increase in numbers and strength. Each celebration has solar and lunar dates. Solar and lunar celebrations often land on different days, the solar year being slightly different in length to the lunar year. 2 weeks from today, we'll celebrate lunar Beltane with a full moon and lunar eclipse in Taurus's opposing sign Scorpio. The next 2 weeks are significant and an excellent space of time into which we can pour our various approaches to appreciating the sun as it moves toward peak influence. Like cheering our favorite team onto the field, our rituals reflect our enthusiasm and our hopes for a successful season. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key, so if you desire a point of reference, it's right there. I've otherwise divided the page into 2 columns, one for each of our luminaries. Now, the moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects the moon makes are all very brief, and they have a subtle impact on those things we think, feel, know, and intuit, but may choose whether to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is the outward expression of yourself in the world, specifically in your work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because they have a greater influence on that outward expression. And we begin on the moon side today at 2:19 this morning, Central Standard Time, friends. 2:19 a.m. The moon goes sextile to Jupiter, Taurus, Cancer, Sagittarius, Pisces may notice this a little more than others. This is a vibe that really feels good. We're in good company, or we can be good company, and we enjoy sharing with others. Less than an hour later at 3 a.m., Moon goes trine to Pluto, so Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio. These transits are 2 hours long. So when one is within 2 hours of the previous one, I tend to take them together. This Moon trine Pluto indicates ideal functioning between the heart and the subconscious depths. Whatever comes up will be felt strongly, and it will have a positive effect in our lives. Taken together, I see that we can use our intuitive and emotive powers to share generously with those we keep close, which helps us grow stronger bonds of friendship and relating. At 5:13 this morning, avoid, of course, Moon goes sextile to Venus. Taurus, Cancer, and Libra all have ruling signs here. Positive cooperative energy, and our positive cooperative energy with our ability to attract what we love. Make your heart's desire known to someone you trust. You may just get it. And I'm not sure if that was a proper sentence that I said back there, but I hope I got the point across. This is a time to really open it up about what you desire, and it will, because of the cooperative energy, it will hopefully, probably generate a good outcome. Everything on the page right now is really about communicating, negotiating, opening up, sharing a little bit more with ourselves. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's really all encouragement to, like up until yesterday we had one that was saying, maybe keep your plans close to your vest if you're worried about negativity. Now all conversations are on the table, especially when it comes to our relatedness to those people and things that we value the most. Okay, and then our void of course period today is only about a half an hour. This is the period of time when the moon is thought to lack the influence of any specific sign as it's between signs. It's a good time to journal, meditate, and embody your creative and intuitive practices. Then at 5:46 in the morning, Moon makes ingress to Gemini. Moon in Gemini is a time to think, plan, and communicate in many creative ways through conversation, dance, singing, or any other approach you can think of to get a feeling or an idea across. We find connection and support through our communication. This transit lasts 2.5 days. And then at 10:05 a.m., Moon goes conjunct to Mercury. Gemini, Cancer, and Virgo would be the most implicated here. Our inner lives are mingled under pressure with our ability to analyze and communicate. So talk to those you trust and keep close. Share with them your plans and your dreams at this time. This is the time to field all manner of questions and reactions. On the sun side today, at 9:10 a.m., and friends, I'm aware that I got that out of order. It was unintentional. This pink line should be above this blue line, but I think that we're going to survive this with things out of order. Venus is going to make ingress to Aries this morning at 9:10 a.m. Venus rules the signs of Taurus and Libra. Venus is not at its most powerful best in the sign of Aries, but we find out that where pulling power fails, we can learn to be direct and go in active pursuit of what we'd like to receive. This transit can make us bold in love and pretty much anything that might secure for us the resource we seek. So enjoy that. In the ongoing column, today is the last day for Venus conjunct Jupiter. Taurus, Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces have ruling planets right here. The expansion of our receptive vessel for resources has been underway for a long time now, but this really helped. We have been thinking and planning and listening. We've grown our idea of what it is we need in order to thrive, and having put in that work, Jupiter under pressure here with Venus promises to make large our capacity to receive so that we can create bigger and better things for ourselves in our lives. Yesterday, Venus went sextile to Pluto, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio. This aspect will be with us through the 6th. So recall this ongoing conversation we've been having about the expansion of our vessel for receiving energy and resources. Venus is our attractive capability. It's how we attract or draw in what we need and desire. And what we need and desire covers a broad spectrum of energies like love, acceptance, attention, acclaim. It also covers all the material resources we would like to have or that we need. Pluto represents the things that are difficult to see, hard to know, challenging to predict. The depths and the extremes is what Pluto is, especially the depths of our emotions and intuitions. It's sort of from the bottom to the top and from the beginning to the end, right? It's that space in between the stories, the transformational energy. So the sextile energy here is cooperative, merging our personal receptive capacity with emotional and intuitive depth in a working relationship that generates good outcomes. We love more deeply right now. We feel more profoundly for the people and things we value the most. So spend time with those that you feel the most attached to. Find ways to express the depth and the breadth of your appreciation for one another. And together you can create something beautiful and new. Mercury sextile Venus here will be with us through May 11. And this has been bringing up positive cooperative vibes between the intellect and our ability to attract what we need and desire. Taurus, Gemini, here we are. Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra have ruling planets here. We're now empowered to negotiate the terms by which we receive attention, affection, resources, compensation. Listen, be realistic. Take inflation into account. Take emotional and mental labor into account. Take physical labor into account. Ask for what you truly need. If Venus gets the sense that our relationships are out of balance, what we're trying to do is not going to work, okay? So bringing things into balance can require some self-advocacy, and now is the time to advocate for yourself. Mercury sextile Jupiter will be with us till May 28. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, ask and you can receive. This month we have exceptional mental clarity regarding the big picture in our lives. It's time to articulate our bigger, more complex and rewarding ideas about ourselves. Lay out the plans and pay attention to the details. Your efforts here are blessed with good outcomes. Mercury trine Pluto is here through June 19. Gemini, Virgo, and Scorpio, let us know your experience about this. Pluto is now retrograde, which is part of what extends this aspect past a couple of days. I see ideal, positive functioning between our thoughts, plans, and communications and the inward transformations that we are undergoing. And Pluto is retrograde through October 8th. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, but its impacts are less felt on the individual level than they are on the broader generation level. And guys, friends, I've said this a couple of times already, but I'm going to go ahead and do this one for you again. Pluto has been in Capricorn for over 20 years now. I don't know how I can emphasize that enough. It's been like 25 years. And this is Pluto's last year in Capricorn, and this is Pluto's final retrograde in Capricorn. So Pluto in Capricorn has really been about bringing transformation to the things that we think of as foundational, okay, as tried and true, the things that the institutions and traditions we have relied on to be the support in our lives, right? So I encourage you to look back and see the massive shifts that have been made to those foundational sort of institutions and ideas, both in culture and in our personal lives. And, you know, not only will this be Pluto's last retrograde in Capricorn this time, but it's probably Pluto's last retrograde in Capricorn for our whole lives. Pluto goes through each sign. It takes 25 to 30 years every time. So, you know, we may see Pluto go through 3 signs in our lives. We'll never see Pluto make a complete return to its original place in our lives, right? So understand that this will be the last retrograde in Capricorn, the time of an upheaval in this sort of end of Pluto in Capricorn sort of intensifies the feeling of shifting foundations and changing our ideas of what what is traditional and what is tried and true. Don't be surprised if you begin to see some intensified upheaval in your own ideas and approaches to what's traditional, what works. And because of this, Pluto retrograde is also a time when the things that don't work, like bad habits, toxicity in our relationships, poor money management, will be painfully clear to us. Endings and beginnings, friends. It is possible to become a willing and engaged participant in the transformations that are upon us. Okay, understand that things come to an end. We have to be able to make fresh starts in our lives. And when you see those endings coming up, see if you can't embrace them. If not running toward them, at least embrace them as they come, and see if you cannot use that acceptance of the changes you're going through as a way to move gracefully forward through them. Speaking of which, tomorrow Jupiter goes sextile to Pluto, right? Pluto's in retrograde. It's in this trine position with Mercury through the middle of June. Ideal functioning between transformation and communication. I love that, while transformation is in retrograde or more happening on the inside of our lives. And then Jupiter goes sextile to Pluto. So expansion goes into a cooperative vibe with our transformative energies, bringing ideal circumstances for us to move through these changes, like I said, with ease and grace. Wednesday, Mars will go sextile to Uranus, bringing about a sense of spontaneity and fun to our activities. Thursday, Sun will go conjunct to Uranus, revealing to us all of the changes that are underway in and around us in our lives. And then next Sunday, we'll bring our first quarter moon in Leo, and yeah, that's and that will be a time to set our plans into action. I got a little distracted there, friends. Thank you for bearing with me. And that is it for today's astrology. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And friends, I do so appreciate it when you comment to ask questions and provide encouragement. It isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening and engaged in the content, but it lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that helps me a lot as well. So thank you. Thank you very much. Also, if you know anyone for whom this guidance may resonate, I encourage you to share. Sharing is caring. And now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about tarot as it relates to astrology. First, I'm going to discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology, and then throw a random card that hopefully speaks to today's energies. So let's go ahead and get into that. The tarot card that sits on the side of the page is the Six of Pentacles. And this is the second day of this 10-day period. The Six of Pentacles represents the second of the 3 10-day segments of the sun's transit through Taurus. So there's the second 10 days of the sun's transit through Taurus. And, put in context, when we had 5 of Pentacles, Pentacles is about your physical resources. It's about your body, your strength, your physical well-being. Also, your home and specifically your wealth, your financial well-being. So 5 of Pentacles was a time of lack and poverty, and a reminder to ask for what you need, a reminder that the resources are always available, and you just have to know, really kind of where to look for them, right? And then 6 of Pentacles is more an indication of somebody who has figured out how to get the resources flowing in very well. Okay, so this is a person who is in probably pretty good health, feeling good in their body, which is very Taurus kind of vibe, feeling the sensual pleasure of being alive in a body, covering themselves in expensive fabrics and nice moisturizers, etc., doing kind things for themselves and getting themselves set up in the way that they would like. And then they find that they can, they have enough extra that they can balance things out by sharing a little bit of what they have with others. Okay, so this is a reminder that if we have resources, if we have abundance in some part of our lives, then it's a good thing to share with others. It helps sort of balance the scales, right? We can't just keep everything for ourselves. That's a lonely, sort of frightened existence that probably isn't very rewarding or connected, right? But when we are generous because we have resources, that helps us connect with people in a way that's really special. It's really special to be able to share resources with people who need them, or even if they don't need them but weren't expecting to get a gift and you give them a gift. That's a really rewarding thing to do. So I just want to remind you, in any way that you are well resourced, don't forget to share what you have, because I would say sharing is caring, but sharing is also, an acknowledgement of what you have, and it makes it energetically come back to you. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my cards and remind myself that the sun is in Taurus. So this is a time when we put down roots in what is familiar and draw our resources from reliable sources. Resources from reliable sources. Uranus is also in Taurus, indicating a lot of change to our approaches to relying on sources, are a lot of changes in perhaps the ways in which we source the things that we need, and also changes in our ideas about what we need. The waxing crescent moon in Taurus moving into Gemini early this morning. Waxing crescent is a time when we set goals. We think about our intentions. We lay out our plan for the push forward for the next couple of weeks, especially because we have that culminative phase with the full moon where we can sort of celebrate what we've achieved by then. And, moon in Gemini is a time to talk, plan, and create. So it's ideal timing for the moon to be in Gemini while we have the waxing crescent moon. And on the sun side of the page, we have a lot going on with Venus. Venus conjunct Jupiter, this expanded sense of what we can receive. Venus sextile with Pluto, feeling that deep, profound love, affection, and feeling for our connections to those people we truly love, those things we love and can't get enough of. And Venus down here moving into Aries, saying, Venus is not as well functioning in Aries as she was in Pisces, but Venus in Aries says, if I can't draw it to me, that's okay. I can just put my hand out and ask. Or if I can't draw it to me, that's okay. I'm willing to actively pursue it. And that's, that may be not Venus's favorite way to be, but it is definitely a way that can work. And then Mercury has a lot going on too, asking us to negotiate the terms by which we would receive Venus style, asking us to think about our bigger plan and to lay it out, asking us to discuss the really deep internal changes and feelings that we're having as we go through these internal transformations, Pluto retrograde through October 8th. And on the moon side, we have a lot of really positive functioning, where we can share generously to deepen our connections, the ones that we're feeling more profoundly at this time, where we can really share with somebody, tell someone what our heart's desire is, and perhaps see something good about that. Sharing. Moon in Gemini is just more of that Mercury vibe that says, let's communicate, let's talk about it, let's make a plan. And then moon conjunct to Mercury itself. So, that's really just feeling compelled to discuss what is going on in your heart. So, maybe talk that over with somebody that you keep close and that you trust. And with all of that said, turning over this card, we have the King of Rods. So the King of Rods is the King of Wands. Wands is fire, and the King represents the person who has the most command of that resource. So fire as a resource, these are the internal resources of spark, drive, initiative, enthusiasm, passion, okay? those fiery, sort of hot things that come up. They're like emotions, but they move us into action. Okay, so the King of Wands or the King of Rods is a person who is full of this spark, this drive, this fiery vigor, and but also has the rational ability to apply those passions, apply those active drives, in a direction that is good for the people who rely on them. And I think that's great because Six of Pentacles here says, if you have physical resources, it's balanced, it's helpful to share them. We don't want to be miserly. We want to share our wealth so that other people can grow their wealth. And the King of Rods says, share your passions as well, share your drive, share with enthusiasm, share because because it feeds that fire in your belly to continue to be active in your acquisition of resources and of achievements. And I think that's all I have to say about that tonight, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate your presence. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.